I've got a great saying. Well, I think it's great. Get a mirror that works. Back in 1983, about 4 months before the trial, and I had a trial coming up for robbing a bank, I decided I needed a defence. And it occurred to me that I could use alcohol as a defence. So I hired a psychologist, a gentleman by the name of Ian Joblin, and I asked him to go back to the school I went to and to get my IQ results from the year I left school before I went to university. And then he was going to come out and interview me. And my plan was simple. It was only going to cost me $500, but my plan was this. When he came out to interview me, I'd make out like I was a bit brain damaged through too much alcohol. He would write that in the report and I'd get a light sentence. Simple plan, as I said, only going to cost me $500. On the due date, he arrives at the prison and I'm called up to meet him, and I walk into the room. Ian Joblin, Graham Orford, how are you, Ian? Good to meet you. He said, Graham, I've been back to Trinity Grammar, which was the school I went to, and I've got your IQ results from the year you left school. I now want to test your current mental capacity. I said, right, let's do it. So the first thing he did was he got out 7 blocks, pictorial blocks of a guy going fishing. So the first block, he was at home packing the bait and tackle. Second one, he was in the car. Third one, he arrived at the pier. Fourth one, he baited the hook. Fifth one, he threw it in. Sixth one, he caught a fish. Seventh one, he cooked the fish. He took a frying pan with him. He was an optimist. He shuffled them up on the desk, got out a stopwatch, and he said, Graham, when I say go, I want you to put these in a logical, sequential, pictorial order. I said, I got you. So he shuffled them up and he said, go. Now, when he said go, the best laid plans of making out I was an idiot went out the door. I couldn't help myself. I went flat out. After about a minute and a half, Joblin said, stop. I said, what's wrong? He said, if you don't start trying, I'm going to tell the court you tried to pull the wool over my eyes. I said, Ian, I'm going flat out. He said, well, I'm going to test you now to see if that's true. So for the next 20 minutes, I've never worked so hard in my life. And at the end of the session, like anyone, you want to know how you went. I said, how did I go? He said, Graham, there's no easy way to tell you this. Bottom line, you've got brain damage. Now I'm mortified. This is the report I want, but suddenly I don't want it. He said, I'll see you at court in a month. I'll send the report outs beforehand. You should get them within a couple of weeks. 2 weeks later, I received the reports and my life changed forever. This is what the report said. Orford appears as a tragic figure, chronically addicted to alcohol. He's destroyed his family, his life cycle, his friends, his career. In the areas of memory and concentration, he's lost over 40 points from his IQ, dropping from the top 5% of the population to the bottom 2%. But that's not what got me. What got me was the last line. He verges on being institutionalised. I just didn't see myself that way. I saw myself as a good bloke having a bad trot. But the more I read this report, the more I knew it was true. And for the first time in my life, I had a mirror that worked. And I didn't like what I saw, because what I saw was this useless piece of human flesh that had just destroyed everything in its path. And I made the decision that day, no more. I will never go back over that line again. Sobriety may not open your gates of heaven, but it'll certainly close the gates of hell.